Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and barbecue TikTok and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Barbecue. Let's get it done. As always, this series is inspired by the popular Roll for Sandwich series by AdventuresinAardia. And I promise, this time, this is an actual episode.
It's about damn time.
Let's kick off this barbecue and roll for meat. 3, pork. Alright, let's see how we're preparing our pork today. Oh, and that dice is spinning today. 3, ribs. I mean, you can't go wrong with ribs. Today we're going to be using some St. Louis cut style ribs. It's really easy to prepare ribs if you've done it a lot. You're going to rip off that membrane, and then we're going to do some slight trimming. But of course, prepare it how you like. Now that we got them trimmed, it's time to roll for binder. 4, steak sauce. Not a bad choice, but not my first pick. We're using this awesome Australian steak sauce. You guys know the drill already. We're going to coat both sides and make sure it's all nice and covered. Now that we got that binder done, let's roll for rubs. 17, hot toddy barbecue, and 3 blues hog. We're going to be throwing on some bovine delight, and of course, we got to do this in the wind because I don't think ahead of time. Now that we have that rub all over the f***ing board, it's time to roll for blues hog. 7, the rodeo rub. I think this rodeo rub is going to work really well with that awesome steak sauce. The savory notes between that steak sauce and the rodeo rub will be really nice. And that bovine delight from Hotty Totty is going to add a slight sweetness to these ribs. Pat that rub in, and now it's time to roll for wood. 3, mesquite wood. Not my first pick. Now it's time to roll for char griller. 2, the Grand Champ XD. Alright, we're smoking on the char griller Grand Champ. We're looking at 225 degrees for the first 3 hours. And while that's cooking, it's time to roll for Wild Magic. 20, Dealer's Choice. Of course, I saw this at Michigan Barbecue Supply, and it reminded me of that old Progressive commercial I used to watch.
I got a discount on this ham.
I've got the meat sweats. Is good ham, Diane?
Oh yeah, that's a classic. We're going to start spraying this every hour after the first 2 hours. Now it's time to set up our foil pouch. We got some hot honey, some butter, and some dark brown sugar. I did end up cutting those ribs in half because I'm going to try a new sauce from Killer Hog's Barbecue. Check that out later this week. We're throwing this back on the smoker for another hour. Now it's time to click those tongs. It's time for the D20 sauce roll. 13, Alabama white sauce. We're going to be using Malcolm Reed's Mississippi white sauce, which is basically the same thing. And of course, we're trying Killer Hog's brand new zero sugar barbecue sauce. Check out my video later this week to see how it tastes. Back on the smoker for 1 more hour, let them rest, and these ribs are done. They smell incredible, but how do they taste? I can't imagine it's going to be bad, so here we go. Oh yeah, that's a nice southern twang right there. Now this would definitely be considered competition style, but I typically like my ribs fall off the bone, which is technically overcooked. This is the best part about Roll for Barbecue, is this rib right here. You see all these different brands and you try them together and you really make something truly incredible. The bark is perfect, the sauce is amazing, the seasonings work just right together. The only thing I don't like is that mesquite smoke. This is just on personal preference, but I'm not a fan of mesquite wood on my pork. But honestly, it could be a hell of a lot worse. Overall, I'm really happy with these ribs. So, we're going to give this one a 10 out of 10, and we're going to call this one Southern Twang. And just like that, that's episode 59. Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe, and check out our merch store. And as always, we'll see you guys at the next barbecue.